the outsider candidates are what's resonating with people more than the, here's your pre-selected person that we want you to like, that's not going to answer any direct questions.
Mm-hmm. Well, it would be in some ways refreshing to have a Teddy Roosevelt candidate to sort of hold the mirror up to these people. And
yeah, and the truth is, Teddy Roosevelt was an accident.
right.
Teddy Roosevelt was a mistake. Teddy Roosevelt was never going to happen because they made him VP to get rid of him, to shut him up. Nobody liked him. It's like, well, let's give him this meaningless VP gig, and we'll just kind of put him aside. And then McKinley gets assassinated, and it unleashes the beast. The youngest man ever to be president was Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And he was a progressive, actually.
Yeah.
And but the establishment didn't put him there. The establishment actually, in spite of themselves, put them there because they tried to put him in a place that he wouldn't bother him, and then he becomes president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That anarchist changed everything when he shot McKinley.
Right, and Trump in some ways is Teddy Roosevelt-esque. In that he
is, and I'll tell you a very interesting story about Roosevelt, and it relates to Trump. Teddy Roosevelt had this sort of aura about being an outdoorsman and everything, which in some ways he became later. Originally, he was a dandy from Long Island, okay? And to make himself like he was in the Black Hills, he actually got in a photographic studio, and he got all his gear on and everything. The problem really with that famous picture now is he's got a $3,000 Tiffany knife in his belt that no one would ever take into the woods, let alone get themselves to have a picture taken of him. Now, admittedly, later on, he became much more of an outdoorsman.
Yeah, he did. He in fact, like his roadway to death was when he went to the Amazon.
Yeah, which was the dumbest thing he ever did. I mean, and we have the National Park Service, thankfully, because of him.
Yeah, and he's on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. So, and probably rightfully so, but he couldn't get elected again because of the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
The Bull Moose Party was too independent.
Who do you think would be most likely to take his face off Mount Rushmore and put theirs on it? Clinton or Trump?
I think it would be a tie. They are both so well, and that's the thing I was saying about Trump. He's, I'll be slightly unkind here for a moment. He's money by the yard, bad taste by the mile. Trump Tower is just the gaudiest, ugly. I mean, it's horrible. You see him getting interviewed in that atrium all the time, and it's just so cheesy. It's like, it's totally Queens. It's exactly, Queens put in Manhattan. So, Hillary would think she should definitely be the first woman.
So they dynamite Teddy Roosevelt off of Mount Rushmore and put Hillary on there.
She'd dynamite any of them off. They're all just inferior. She would be thinking, Washington, the country was so small back then. Well, that's not even important. Same thing, Jefferson, who is he? Lincoln, we'll leave him on. Well, some of my peeps remember him. Roosevelt, definitely get him off. He's a Republican.
Yeah, well, Lincoln's a Republican too, so get him off.
Yeah, but he gets a pass.
Maybe Hillary would put Bill on there too. So Mount Rushmore would be Hillary, Bill, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
And who else would they put on there?
Yeah, maybe they'd leave.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That's her gift. That's it. That's your gift for helping me get elected. We'll put you on Mount Rushmore with me and Bill.
That's perfect.